For today's creature feature, we begin this Scream filming locations video in California wine country. Who knew, upon watching this iconic classic 90s horror film for the first time, it was filmed in wine country? I sure didn't. Kevin Williamson's screenplay, originally titled Scary Movie, Kevin himself can be credited for saving horror. At that time, horror was dead. But here came this little Dimension Film / Miramax Studios movie called Scream. Welcome to the filming locations of Scream 1996, starring Neve Campbell, Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy, Skeet Ulrich, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Drew Barrymore, Rose McGowan, Henry Winkler, and a cameo by director himself, Wes Craven. I am so stoked to run down all of the filming locations for this film. Been a huge fan of Scream ever since I watched it 30 years ago. This is the 30th year anniversary of Scream, coming this December 20th this year. This movie changed the game. This was the first time that the characters in the film actually had seen horror movies. Those are the rules. Randy, one of my favorite characters, also used to work at a video store. A little biased. I hope you Scream fans enjoy this video. I'm going to be running around wine country for 2 days, showing you all the spots then and now where this movie was made 30 years ago. And also, we will be going to where half of the movie was made, Stu Macher's house. I have a tour. I scheduled this way back last year. I am going to be one of the first to walk in Stu's house, scene 118, this year. They have just opened up for the new year here in February. And I made sure to book that to be among this filming locations quest for Scream. Of course, we have to show them all. And I think I've got every single Scream filming location for you guys. Let's get started. We've got a lot of ground to cover, a lot to see. There's much ahead. And so we begin. Welcome to Woodsboro High from Scream. In this video, I will show you the then versus now. I will take the screen grabs from the movie, put them into frame by showing you what the filming locations look like, then comparing them to now. And welcome to 276 East Napa Street. The Sonoma Community Center was used exteriorly and interiorly. All right, I have into frame the first time you see Woodsboro High, aka Sonoma Community Center, on screen. The camera swoops down, starting up at the top of the building. This would have been shot from across the road on a crane. You can clearly see that they just replaced Sonoma Community Center with a sign that said Woodsboro High. There's a lot more plants and shrubs before the school than there was during Scream. It's become sort of a garden. And from this screenshot right here, before the main walkway down to the street, you can see the TV van. Also, Gail Weathers. The van was actually parked right here, kind of where this car is today. You can make out some of the trees. And Gail was standing out here next to this tree. So they planted a lot of bushes right here, but about right there is where Gail is standing. I'm standing about where Kenny is with his top story jacket. There's that screenshot. Notice the columns and the door of the main door in the background, the sidewalk. And originally Santa Rosa High was supposed to serve as the school filming location in Scream. They actually locked it in, but right before coming out here to film, Santa Rosa High held a PTO meeting and they decided they did not want a horror film to be filmed in their high school. And the entrance to the left was the auditorium. You can actually see auditorium written on this sign in the movie. I'll put the screenshot into play. This is in the beginning opening scene. There's a police barricade right here. Since the time of the film, they put a ramp and some railing. What's really cool is that you can see this tree to the right the limbs. This tree hasn't changed. And also Linda Blair from Exorcist makes her cameo in this scene too. Linda Blair's in the movie. Little did I know that until I started researching this. That always went right over my head. So here's the tree. I'll put the screenshot into frame. Notice the lady in the orange over to the right, far right. The anchor, that's Linda Blair. You actually see a better shot of her in the next frame, but this is cool because the tree and the entrance, the school, all of that matches up then and now. Right here to the left of the main door, Linda Blair was like right out in here. And this is a great shot because it shows you this is the same tree. Linda's in the orange to the right. Hello, Sydney. Walking down the sidewalk this way, she sees Gail Weathers, who is standing right over here to the left of that tree. And also notice the sign in the background. They put a Woodsboro High School sign over that sign as well. Thought this was a great screen grab to tie it all together here. And another screen grab from right here. There's that tree again. You can clearly see that tree in this screen grab. Tatum Riley, Rose McGowan, Neve Campbell, Sydney, right here on the sidewalk. Noticing that Gail Weathers is right over there. And they're eventually just making their way into school this way. Also, when they take the corner to walk up towards the door, you can spot both of these houses behind them in the background. More so the one to the right. There's that house to the right. Looks like there was a fence there back in the day. You can definitely see part of this house and that house behind them here. Sid's actually standing up here on the steps. The camera was shooting out from the porch. There you go. Put that screen back into play there for you. You can clearly see the house all the way to the right with the fence. Now the interior scenes that were filmed elsewhere, I will show you and show you what those scenes were. But clearly they filmed inside this building, the classroom, the hallway scenes. That was the only thing that was filmed in here. We're going to go in and match this up in a little bit, but just wanted to show you the hardwood floors. Remember the hardwood floors. And we know right behind these doors there's a set of steps to the second floor right behind Dewey here. As Dewey and Gail are having that conversation right here, someone comes on the PA and announces that there will be a curfew. Right, you see it says woo. Look at that, Adam the Woo, shout out. Second column here, that is where they place the PA speaker. That was right, hold on, right there. Always thought this was a cool scene. The flirting starts between Dewey and Gail. The only thing you can match up, because the doors aren't open and this is a tight shot, is the woodwork here behind Dewey. It was green and kind of like a peach trim back then. Now it's white and red. All right, we're gonna go inside. The community center opened just a few moments ago at 9 a.m. I just want to say, had they filmed this in Santa Rosa High, most likely we wouldn't have been able to go inside and show you the scenes filmed in Scream. This is a community center. It's a public building. Imagine it being Friday today and school was in session. Always hard to get interior school filming locations for movies. This one, thankfully, I think we're in good luck. Let's try it out. I don't want to get ahead of myself. All right, doors open. Oh yeah, there's the steps that you see behind Dewey. And I believe the hallway from the movie is right up here. Oh, here you go. You can clearly see the door up the stairs beyond Dewey there. Here you go. Here's the shot. And welcome to the hallways of Woodsboro High. They just bought some lockers, threw them in here, made it look like a school, mocked up a classroom. So right here is where Wes Craven makes his Freddy Krueger janitor cameo. Notice that the stairwell is down there to the right. You can see that hand railing in this frame down there to the right of the lockers. So there were lockers right here, and Wes Craven right here in the original Freddy sweater with the original Freddy hat. He said it himself, he wanted to make sure he was Freddy. In the studio I will show you later, that location, they actually created Mr. Henry's principal's office. That was not filmed here, but what they did is they just put Henry in this doorway. They just acted like this was his office over here, and they alluded to what they filmed right here with Wes Craven here with the mop bucket. So yeah, Principal Henry's office was filmed in the studio. I will show you later. Alright, so we have to find the spot where Sidney runs into Billy after he got out of jail. I think we have to go down this way and take a left. Alright, this set of steps right here. Imagine the lockers to the left and to the right. The trim, the woodwork, the molding all matches up. This is where Sidney runs into Billy and they have that talk. This is right after Billy is released from jail. Sidney still thinks he's a suspect. Little did she know at that time, he was the killer. Alright, just imagine lockers over here and over there. Sidney eventually runs that way to what you think is the bathroom. I'll get to that in a moment. I didn't realize until breaking this down how many times Skeet Ulrich, Billy Loomis, touches this banister right here. Puts his hand on it several times. So when Sidney goes off this way to what in the film was the restroom, that interior restroom scene was actually filmed in the studio. I will show you later. That is actually a dance studio, not a restroom. And then once that scene finishes, she runs back through this door and then down these steps right there. Also right here at the top of the main steps is where the lockers were sitting. Alright, you see these water fountains right here. These were not here during the time of the movie, but there was a water fountain in between these two doors because you can clearly see them in the screenshot I'm putting into frame. Notice behind Tatum's, Rose McGowan's elbow over there to the left, you see the drinking fountain. Well, that would have been right here. The door next to it. These fountains are precisely where their lockers were. Stu's locker, actually no, that's Tatum's locker, and then Sidney just a couple lockers down, and then moments later the fake Ghostface, the student pranker, runs down past them. That's where the fountain was. This is where their locker was, just to show you. And that's the same hallway that Wes Craven was standing. They just dropped that poster of that Panther, Go Woodsboro Panthers, in the back to kind of make this high school look bigger. And here's precisely the matchup on that. That door was open. He's running this way towards them. And then Sidney takes off down to the left and runs into Billy right there at the staircase. Alright, so bumped into someone that worked here. She was so nice, I would have totally missed this if she wouldn't have walked me down here. So they had a 30th anniversary screening recently, and they sold these tote bags, and they are maybe still available. I'm gonna go get one, hopefully. And look at this, Woodsboro High turns 100 years old this year on the 30th anniversary of Scream. I like how they did that. That is the historic picture of the plaque. And then I just learned that in room 208, this is where I was going to next. This is the classroom that they filmed in. So now we know where it's at. Welcome to Woodsboro High, the high school scenes in the 1996 film Scream. And now we know where that is, right above us. Actually, that set of steps is right there. We'll go there to find room 208. Hey, not the same lockers, but there are lockers still in Woodsboro High. I'm actually going to go up the set of steps that Sidney ran down reverse. All right, welcome to Sidney's class. Print studio today, room 208. This is where the lockers were before the fountain. Sidney ran back that way. And welcome to the classroom from Scream. Sidney was sitting over here looking out the window. A shot of the teacher in front of this very chalkboard. You can see these two doors over here. I'm gonna go back here, recreate this shot for you. Now check out the trim and the floor behind this desk. This is the first shot you see of this classroom. There it is. The window. Now they're about to kick off class, so I gotta be very quick. I've got the screenshot into frame. Check out the teacher in the chalkboard behind her. Notice above her head, there's some tape. And that tape is still here. And it's in the same shape. 30 years ago, that tape is still there. I love that. Yes, I took this picture in Knoxville. Okay, that was cool. I got there just in time. People were showing up for class. I'm glad we ran into someone here and went downstairs. I just had the ultimate deja vu moment right here. I know I've been here before, and I know I said this before. That's scary. All right, guys, 35 bucks. I had to get me an official Woodsboro High souvenir at Woodsboro High. This is a really neat tote bag. Even got the news van there, Ghostface. And if you're interested in coming by here, enter room 210 and just ask right there. You can purchase one of these tote bags. Limited time. They won't always be here, so just a heads up. All right, I'm gonna show one more other scene right here. Actually, it's across the street, and then we gotta get going. We've got a lot to see. And here's the screenshot to set up this scene. They had just walked out of the auditorium. Notice that tree again. That's the same tree as Linda Blair was standing next to earlier in the film. And here you go today. Stu meets up with Sydney and Tatum, and they walk right here across the street onto the sidewalk. They actually walk by both of these trees in front of this house, which we saw in the background earlier, and they're walking down this way. Stu actually picks up Tatum and throws her over his shoulder as they walk by all of these trees on the sidewalk. I actually found a shot of this tree right here. I'll put it into frame for you. It looks a little different, but this is the same tree. More so this knob right here on the left, you can kind of make out there. And there was another tree where they stopped in front of a little ways down the sidewalk that had a very unique like U shape. That tree would have been about right in here. That's where they stopped. That tree is long gone. It's not there anymore. All right, you have to use your imagination. Here's the screenshot. Notice to the left of the tree with the horseshoe shape, there's a telephone pole. Think about the telephone pole. Okay, there's that telephone pole. The tree, I'm gonna back up here, was right here. The school back there, just to put things into perspective for you. Notice the fence, screenshot back into frame. There's a picket fence, not the same fence today, but it's in the same house, before the same house. 235 Napa Street, by the way. Pole, tree, fence, lower right hand corner. This is where all three of them stopped here on the sidewalk at Napa Street in Sonoma. I love matching this up. I wonder how many years ago, and I wonder what happened to that tree. How did we found that? I was hoping we'd find that, but that tree's long gone before Woodsboro High. Thank you to the Sonoma Community Center for allowing us to get inside and capture every single thing that was filmed in Scream. This is the complete Scream filming locations video. Next stop, 7420 Sonoma Mountain Road, Casey Becker's house. Reminds me of East Tennessee. So we've reached the driveway of Casey's house, 7420 Sonoma Mountain Road. Actually, if we come over here, you see these trees out here? That tree line? In that tree line is where the filming location is. It's actually right in there. Oh wow, this is it. So he added this garden area right here. Okay. That's what he did, but you can see that the house, he built this pool house over here. Okay. There. Wow. That's so there, but the house itself is all still the same. Oh yeah, I can see it. You come driving in here. So, oh yeah, neat. Yeah, so see the house, he didn't change any. This house was designed by, if you're on Arnold Drive, there's a church on Arnold Drive before you get to, I think it's Madrone, or it's just past Madrone.
Anyway, there's a church anyway, the guy designed that church and designed this house.
That's cool. There was actually a swing hanging from this tree right here.
Oh, what?
A swing, like
in
the movie, yeah. I'm just nerding out.
Yeah, beautiful oak trees, man. Beautiful oak trees.
Her name was Casey Becker.
That was swinging on?
Yeah, well, she was the one, that's Drew Barrymore's character. And I believe this is the tree. Yeah. Oh, wow.
There was some stuff growing, I think, out here. Some edges and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's the door.
You can see that, yeah. And then you can see.
There's the pool back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is right where she got slaughtered by Ghostface. It's this tree.
Right here.
Yeah. Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, I said that to somebody that was, and the guy looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? But I'm telling you, man, it's the one thing that I think about every time of the day.
Thank you so much. You just made, like, my life. Yeah. Dude, you just made my day. You made my trip. Yeah, you can totally see the car coming down this driveway. There was a winery, or a vineyard right there.
So that's what I thought.
All right, guys, just to recap what just happened, I want to thank this person, this most amazing person. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. Had I been there moments before or after, I would have missed the opportunity. We got to drive down and see the filming location, Casey's house, the first on-screen debut of Ghostface, where it all went down, the first phone call right there. The house looked pretty much the same as you saw. It had been additioned. I was trying to be courteous. The gentleman, I want to thank very much for making my day, led me down the driveway as you see in the movie, and we got to see the spots out in front of the house where Ghostface caught up to Drew Barrymore. That was amazing. That was the holy grail of Scream filming locations, and we got it. Someone's watching out for us. I've got goosebumps on my goosebumps. I got to control myself because we've got a lot still to see. I hope you enjoyed that. And now we come to 2875 Santa Rosa Avenue. Lazy Boy. Looks like there's a furniture store in here, a nutrition store. Most of these buildings are vacant. Now, this building was not here during the time of the filming. This used to be the location of the warehouse studio, where 100% of all studio scenes filmed in Scream were filmed. Famously, the interior of the principal's office. Henry Winkler was in this building. There is no known picture online of what the warehouse studio used to look like, and there is speculation that this could have been the building. They just remodeled it to a shopping plaza. I'm gonna look inside here just in case. This could be the building. I went back to Google Maps. There is no known street view photo on Google of this warehouse before 2011. This could well be the same building they filmed Scream inside. The principal's office, the restroom of Woodsboro High, a little bit of Sydney's room is the entirety of all the scenes in Scream filmed on a set, and it was filmed right here. Pretty amazing. I brought the mask back to where Henry Winkler wore it. I'm looking at the set photo that was filmed on Scream the Inside Story, which I watched on my Blu-ray commentary before coming out here. You see the window right there? That's Sydney's bedroom window. They filmed a little bit of that scene in here, but mostly practically at the house. That's pretty neat. And then you can see right there the interior of the principal's office. So I'm looking at the rafters in this photograph, and I'm looking up at the ceiling here through the glass. This may well be the same building. So I drove around back, check out these large bay doors. I'm gonna say this is where they filmed the scenes. Think about it. You come up here, Dimension Films, Miramax, you need a studio, you find a vacant building, you rent it, and you film the movie. This was it. The studio warehouse where they filmed Scream. And now we come to Town and Country Drive and Elizabeth Way here in Santa Rosa. This right here is the grocery store from Scream. At the time, it was called Town and Country Grocery. Now it's called Pacific Market. It was right over here underneath the awning walking into the grocery store where the scene starts. We've got Sydney and Tatum walking in to pick up some beverages for the party. All right, what's amazing about this, that the carts then and now are still in the same spot. They've been stacking carts here for 30 years. Look at that. So the former door that they would have walked in was right here. They filled it in. The current door is right here where the scene actually began. I'll show you what's going on here. There's the current door to the market. All right, so I've got the screenshot in the frame for you. Notice the wall, the carts. That barrel to the right of Sydney there was posted up right before this column. And then out in the background, you can actually see the windows of the house across the street. They came around this corner right here, past the carts, and then the door, the former door to this market, was right here. Here's a screenshot of the door. This would have been right there, and just in there now, I see like the deli to the left. They have reconditioned all of this. You can actually see this is newer. This is where the door was that they walked into, and it was in this vicinity here where Sydney grabbed the beer out of the cooler. I'm looking at the handles of the cooler in the movie. Not the same coolers we see today, but this is the same vicinity, more so back here towards the wall of where Sydney grabbed the beer out of the cooler. Not much to match up then and now. This has all been remodeled. The ceiling tile is the same, but you really don't see it. The wall's the same, the trim's the same, even the paint's the same. They haven't changed much exteriorly, they just shifted the door. And here was the filming location that was supposed to be Woodsboro High in Scream, Santa Rosa High. Although the PTO had a meeting and they said they didn't want a horror movie to be filmed, specifically a slasher movie to be filmed in their high school, because the town just dealt with a teenage victim's murder at the time. We're just passing it by. I just wanted to throw that in here. Ooh, the bird. Okay, that ties in. Welcome to 904 McDonald Avenue. Beautiful Santa Rosa. These houses are beautiful. No wonder they picked this as a filming location. Alfred Hitchcock's Shadow of a Doubt was filmed right next door. I'll show you that. That actually ties in to the movie as well. But this is Tatum Riley's house. This is a fun fact I learned, that Tatum and Dewey's mom is also the mom of Lorraine from Back to the Future and Billy from Gremlins. Same actor, Frances Lee McCain. That's amazing. The ultimate 80s mom is in Scream. She's a mom in Scream too. All right, so I got the screen into frame to show you that they are sitting on this railing. Here it is today. You just got to use your imagination. Left today. Rose has actually got her back against this right here. They talk a little bit right here, and then they walk over and start talking right here in the center of the porch. And little did they know that Ghostface was out there watching them in the trees. Now, there were more trees out there. There's less trees here today, but Ghostface was over here watching them talk. Now, over here, the scene actually starts with the camera and the song by Alice Cooper playing, School's Out for the Summer. It alludes that Tatum's room is up there on the corner because there's a boombox that is set out on that roof before the window. It would have been a crane shot. The camera kind of comes down like this. I've got the screenshot in the frame for you. Notice the window trim? That's that window. They had that 90s boombox set out there with CDs, one of the speakers on the roof, and then it fades down here, and this is where Sydney and Tatum are sitting on the porch right there. You can kind of match up that angle or that previous screenshot a little better. Let me check this out. All right, you see this far left column? That's where Rose has her back against. Tatum. Sydney right there in between. There you go, in the frame. That's pretty cool. This is a beautiful home, and who knew that Alfred Hitchcock filmed a movie right here in this house. And guess what? On the second story of this filming location, on the second story of this home, is where the Scream mask, the Ghostface mask, was discovered and then used in the movie. What? This house was actually used for a movie called Paulina too, not just Shadow of a Doubt. Just read that. Producer Marion Madalena of Scream was looking for filming locations, and she just so happened to go into this house, and on the second story, and I have a photo, I took this from Scream, the Inside Story, she saw a mask on the bedpost. She took a picture of it, and she took it back to the studio, took it back to Wes, took it back to the crew, and that was the mask. This is where the Ghostface mask was born for Scream. And it said that that mask was bought in a local costume store. It was a Halloween mask owned by the resident. And naturally, the crew went to find who made the mask. It was K&B at Fun World, a mask company, and I believe they still make the mask. And they were able to get it licensed for the movie. This is the birthplace of the Scream mask, the Ghostface mask right here. Shadow of a Doubt, Hitchcock filming location across from the Riley house. I thought that was cool. I had to get that in the video. I bet you never thought I was gonna bring you home. I wonder if anyone's ever brought this back here. And now we come to the shopping plaza in Santa Rosa. Right here is where Bradley Video Store was, the filming location for the video store from Scream. There are no exterior shots, but we know that they used a real-life video store. All right, this is one of my most highly anticipated filming locations visits of all time, the video store from Scream. I used to work at Hollywood Video. I always have related to Randy Meeks. He worked at the video store. There's a lot of people watching out there saying, yes, we love Randy. Randy, Jamie Kennedy, such a great character. This movie wouldn't have been the same without Dewey and Randy. 3080 Marlowe Road, right here, now Armed Forces Career Center. This was formerly Bradley Video, the real-life video store that served as the video store from Scream. Right inside here, all of that scene was filmed. Now you can sign up and join the armed forces here. Before, you could check out the new release wall, or perhaps the horror section. I don't think you can see through the windows, through the eye of the soldier. Nah, all blocked out. So I have a photograph of what Bradley Video used to look like. This was taken in 2016. I just found this on Google. Just imagine Randy Meeks, Billy, Stu, in there having the conversation by the new release wall. This is when you realize that Stu and Billy are kind of crazy and might be, one of them might be the killer. At that time, first watching it, we had no idea they were both the killer. But this is a well-defined character moment for Randy Meeks. Me working at a video store, thinking back when I worked at a video store, I had seen Scream, and all I could think was like, I'm gonna work at a video store like Randy and Scream. This is gonna be awesome. And now we come to this beautiful hillside road. This is Calistoga Road, here north of Santa Rosa. Behind this gated property, there are two houses on this road, 1820 and 1800. There's the mailbox. 1820 is the Prescott House. Wasn't expecting, actually I didn't know what to expect, but it is behind a gated community. Up there and around the bend is where the scenes were filmed. This is the filming location from afar. I was hoping we'd have a little bit more magic as we did with Casey's house. The house at 1820 was used the entire movie. There was only one bit of a scene filmed upstairs with Billy coming through the window that they had to recreate, and that is in the studio, or where the studio was. Too bad we can't get in here, but we are on property technically. The filming location is just up the hill. And as you can see, night has fallen in Santa Rosa. Today is February the 27th, the premiere of Scream 7. And I'm right here where the original one was made, so I figured I would pause these filming locations at the end of day one and check out this new movie. Why not, right? I'm also going to the Macher House tomorrow towards the end of this video. I'm anxious to see if they filmed anything at the Macher House. It may have been a set in Scream 7, who knows, but I'm going to take advantage of this moment and watch a Scream movie where Scream began. All right, I got my large popcorn, buttery popcorn, and soda. I got a Coke Zero, $21.79.
Where you'll be next. Don't talk. Don't text. No calling mommy for help.
All right, movie over. I'll tell you what, it's not the worst Scream movie I've ever seen. Obviously not the best. The first is the best, but I didn't realize it was written and directed by Kevin Williamson, the original screenplay writer for the original movie. There was only one thing I really didn't like about this movie, but other than that, it was pretty entertaining. I like how it was written, and it makes sense Kevin Williamson wrote this, the writer of the first. I don't want to spoil too much because this movie just dropped, but the Macher House, it's in the trailer too, is in the opening scene of the movie. Now, I don't think they actually filmed where I'm going tomorrow. I think that was a set. But we'll find out. We're heading to the Macher House tomorrow. And now we come to the third town used as Woodsboro in Scream. Welcome to Healdsburg. Right behind me is the police station, but first we're gonna head into the park and check out the Scream Friends Fountain. That's what I call it. It's the Friends Fountain, but the Scream version. Historic Healdsburg Square, the Scream Fountain ahead. This is amazing. All right, the scene actually begins here in the square before the fountain. The fountain has changed a little bit. We'll get there. The camera actually comes down like this. I'll put the screenshot into frame. Those are the same lamps and lampposts. They've just been painted black. The camera comes down like this. You can see the former Woodsboro Square gazebo, which was like a square shape in the movie. As you can see, it's still kind of square, but it's more like an octagon. They've changed that out. So although the gazebo has been switched out, the concrete is the same. This is not changed. There was a lattice kind of going across here, and right here in this spot it said Woodsboro Square, and you can see that, a close-up of that on the news report that Sydney is watching at her house in the beginning of the film. So the camera comes down like this and then focuses on the Woodsboro students, or should I say suspects, because everybody's a suspect at this point in the movie. This is the only time you see all those together, right in the beginning of the film. Throughout the film, it's all scattered up. You never see them all again on screen, except for right here. The fountain is the same. They've added these 4 planter boxes around the fountain. That has changed. We've got Billy Loomis laying down right here. Sydney Prescott, Stu Macher. We're heading to the Macher House, by the way. Side note, back to it. Tatum Riley and Jamie Kennedy. All right here. Jamie's kind of sitting to the right of the fountain in this spot. If you look at the car to the left of Stu in the background and the door on the building beyond that, you can still see that door today. Right there. I'll zoom out for you. Put that shot back into frame. This is so cool. I've always wanted to see the Scream Friends Fountain. Now I just have to see the real Friends Fountain. Jamie Kennedy. I've had the pleasure of meeting Jamie several times. I went to a couple of his comedy shows, actually 3 of his comedy shows in Tampa at Side Splitters Comedy Club. Such a great guy. And the park was used several times during the movie, specifically the curfew scenes leading up to the police station. This building can be seen as a mother and a son are packing up a picnic right here in this spot. We know that because we can match up these buildings in the background. I got the picture in frame there for you. They pack up and walk out this way. You can see this building right here in the background. It's kind of a yellow brick building. You see these newspaper boxes right here? I got a screenshot here, a screen grab. There you go. Those boxes are still there. They would be right behind the trash cans today. You can match up the windows across the way. There's a screenshot. And then the camera kind of goes like this. And then Dewey, Tatum, and Sydney in the back of Dewey's Jeep, his police Jeep, is driving down the street right here. And as the Jeep continues down Plaza Street, that way, the Jeep would have actually went around the block to come back here to the square at the corner down there. That's where the police station is. I just want to put things into perspective, but that's where we're going. And I'm standing right here on Center Street because this building was used as the Woodsboro coffee shop. In that same scene, which I call the curfew scene, you have the barista turn the open sign of the coffee shop to close for curfew. And one of these doorways right here, they all look kind of the same. I got to figure out which one it is. All right, it's funny because there is a close sign in the window right here currently at Mr. Moon's. It's a nice little store. This is the Woodsboro Coffee Company. Here's the screenshot. Notice the green poles, the paint, the doors, all the same here today. That's amazing. And then the barista ushers out her last patrons there. If you look close, you can make out the 3 of the 316 address before the door, the mail slot, the handle's the same, and the close sign. Here's a look at the inside of the coffee shop from screen. And one door down, which looks identical, same building, this is Carmela, which is actually a coffee shop. This is 312, but I really think they filmed the Woodsboro coffee shop in 316. That's pretty wild. There's a coffee shop right next door. And right here at 124 Matheson Court, this is the police station from Scream. And this is just across from Woodsboro Square. So, off camera, in the Jeep, Dewey, Sydney, and Tatum have gone around the block, and the scene begins as they're coming down in the Jeep, and they park right here, just before this trash can. We've got the screenshot into play for you. They're pulling up to the police station. Take note of the green awnings on the building to the far left of the street. The buildings, also the police station windows, that building to the right before the police car, those windows there. Take note of that. Here we are today. All of this is still the same. There's the windows. The Dewey parks right here. They all get out of the Jeep. You can see the glass of the police station in the background. All right, this is a really cool matchup because Sydney is walking right before this pole right here. It was green in the movie. It's been painted black. And then they take the corner here and they walk up. Actually, they kind of stop right in here. And during that scene, there's a brief look back over at Woodsboro Square with this pole in the frame. Check that out. You can see the former Woodsboro Square gazebo, too. Rose McGowan, David Arquette, Neve Campbell. I've met David Arquette. I just met him last year. Super nice guy. We talked about Paul Reubens. He was a great friend to Paul Reubens, and I'm a huge fan of Pee Wee Herman, so that's what we talked about. Didn't talk about Scream. I'm sure he gets that a lot. And right here was the former door to the Woodsboro police station. Here's a screenshot of Dewey just before it. It looked like the awning came out, or should I say the lanai? Is that an awning or a lanai? Was more in this area. It's kind of shifted, but Woodsboro police was right here on the glass, and they actually filmed inside here. They had a mock-up front, and the police station was filmed here. And right here in front of these doors is where Dewey, Deputy Dewey, and the police chief are having that conversation. Dewey is eating an ice cream cone, and Chief is smoking a cigarette. And you may have not caught this. I caught this in the commentary. Every time the police chief takes a smoke, Dewey takes a bite of his ice cream. That was an improv suggestion from Wes Craven. It's actually pretty hilarious. What I love about this movie is just all of the satire. The only thing that takes itself serious in this movie are the actual kill scenes. And I wanted to show on the ground here, before the police station, that it's still the same. When the chief puts his cigarette out right here, it shows a close-up of him stomping it with his boot. It's amazing. It's still the same. And the first time you actually see the police station, we backed up in the movie quite a bit. The KQIS Channel 6. Kenny's van is parked right here where this present day bicycle rack is. Also, there's a police car right before it. You can make out the windows. This is after they arrested Billy and they're taking Sydney and Billy into the police station for questioning. Alright, so now we're going to walk down past the police station, which has been parted out to several different buildings. And it's back here where Tatum and Sydney try to sneak out of the back door. This is the alleyway where Neve Campbell socks Courtney Cox. I didn't mean to rhyme. Much has changed, and actually the door's gone. The scene starts with the camera being over here and capturing Gail Weathers figuring it out and walking down this sidewalk to see if she can catch Sydney, which she does. She really caught her, and it was right here. This has changed. This is the police building. We started right up there. I got this screenshot into frame. Moments before you see Gail walking down the sidewalk to the right, you see this building, and there's that building today. It's a pinkish color. Notice the building to the right has been additioned. It is a lot taller than it was. It could be a brand new building, but the camera kind of just goes like this, and you see Gail Weathers walking down in her green neon suit down this sidewalk towards the alley. The sidewalk really hasn't changed much. She is walking right here to the left of this grate. You can see it. She's right here. Hold on. I'll put that in the frame for you. Right here, coming to the corner. So at some point they decided to box in the police personnel only door. They've put like this Art Deco glass in here, this ice block glass. But there was like a rock wall, as you see in the movie. This whole building was like that 70s rock wall. And the only thing I see then and now, right here at this angle, is this pole. That pole is still here. That's going to be how we match this up. So there was a pole and a gutter there. So the door was about right in here. Sydney and Tatum walked right out. And then Gail approaches and puts the mic into the face. That was the wrong move. Wrong move. Oh, this gutter might be the same too. Yeah, here's the gutter. Gail Weathers is holding the microphone right here as I'm holding my camera. Bam! Which went down? Oh, right here. This is awesome. Always wanted to see this. And this is the exact spot right here. It's this screen grab that I'm going to put into frame. Notice the window. The Jeep is parked right down here. There's that window. Sydney about to sock Courtney Cox there. That window is the same. That's amazing. And the Jeep was parked right here behind the Woodsboro police station in this spot. Dewey's Jeep Cherokee. License plate 637480. Yes, Woodsboro, California, as we see a close-up of the license plate there. Look closely at this screen grab again. Look behind the Jeep. All of that behind there has not changed. Building to the right, the fence, the pole, that is all still the same. Just a couple bushes are gone. That's about it. And this is neat. There's actually a Healdsburg police truck right next to where the Woodsboro police truck was parked, or Jeep. Here's the angle you don't really see of the movie, this far back. And check this out. This is cool. All right, you see this stump? That tree? In this screen grab, you can see that tree. Look how small it is there. You see that tree right there? Look how small it is. This was 30 years ago. That's how big it got 130 years. It lived and died right there. That's amazing. It is 7:36. We are leaving Woodsboro. My tour begins at 11 a.m. at the Macher House, Stu's place. I will put a link in the description below for all the finer details to the Macher House in case you want to visit it yourself someday. It is only open certain times of the year. I booked this back in November when I knew I was going to come to California and check out the locations. I am having a great time. Hope you're enjoying the video. Please give it a thumbs up. There's still much ahead. One of the most beautiful filming location spots I have ever visited. Had no clue they filmed this in wine country. Should be a sign on the corner. Spring Hill Estate. This is the Macher House. It was filmed at 3871 Tamales Road in Tamales, California. All right, I stopped here at the gates. Notice it says no trespassing. This is an exclusive tour. Here's the signage. Visit the house from Scream. There you go, there's all the information. Follow along at home. I was following along on Instagram back in November when I saw them drop these dates. I booked it instantly. I knew. I just knew. This is beautiful. All right, so the house is up around. This is a huge estate. There's several houses on this property. Check out these old wagons here. It's probably from the 1800s. There's a couple more here. Look at that view. I didn't expect to see this today. Wow. We've brought you back. I had to bring this, right? Got a cattle guard here. Who knew it was a farm? All right, so I parked right here before the house. That's amazing. I stopped here because this is the driveway where you see Dewey and I almost said Courtney. Well, it is Courtney, but Dewey and Gail Weathers walking down. They're actually walking the opposite direction. A little movie magic. They turned around. They made it seem like they were walking from the house. They were actually walking to the house. We know this because of the stretch of fence. I've got the screenshot into play. And these trees over here to the right, they're walking this way towards the house, not from the house. And you can see in this screenshot that there was a fence where these flowers are today. These are beautiful flowers, by the way. They smell really nice. And also they put a road sign to make it look like a road. This fence right here is newer. The one in the film was a little further back. They dived off the road here. The Mustang about ran them over. And Mr. Prescott's vehicle was parked right in here among these trees. You can still match up some of these trees. There you go. Got the shot in the frame nicely. Notice the curvature in the road. I'm recreating that right here. So between this spot and down there to where the sign was, the speed limit sign, right over in here is where the vehicle was. And they were walking through these set of trees right here. So they got ran off the road precisely right here in this vicinity and went down this grassy bank, which the fence has come, this is a newer fence. The fence is brought more out. It was more in that way during the film. So right down in here, now it's a mucky mess. This is where Dewey kissed Gail Weathers and vice versa. Mr. Prescott's car was placed right in here. You can see all these trees behind them in the scene. And this is right before we start our tour up there. I wonder if they're gonna walk us back and show us this. They might be part of the tour. But one of the reasons I got here early was so I could match up as much as I can. Don't know how thorough I can be inside the house. I'm definitely showing you the filming location. When I go back to edit this, I'll throw in screenshots, break it down. I'm hoping we get some time alone through the house so I can go back through and match up some stuff for you. I know my great friend, mentor, inspiration, hero, I miss him very much. Adam the Woo was one of the very first people to take this tour and to document it and put it out there. So I'm really thinking of him right now. He loves Scream. It's cool to be here among Scream filming locations and among Adam the Woo locations. And here we are approaching the Macher House. This is a U turnaround. The parking is over onto my left. Oh my gosh, there's the garage. Up there is where Sydney jumped out onto the boat, and then she turns around and sees Tatum hanging there in the doggy door. Dewey's Jeep was parked right where I'm about to be. Just wanted to document my first look. That is amazing. All right, all parked up, so I'm gonna put a screenshot into play. Check that out, this is beautiful. All the flowers, didn't expect that. Here's the news truck, Kenny, Gail coming into frame. You can see the house clearly behind her. It was parked right here straight away. And then later in the same spot, this is where Ghostface catches up with him, and this is where Kenny, he bought the farm right here, and little did I know, at that time, it was an actual farm. Yeah, there's a volleyball net. I always wondered where that was. It was sitting right here in the roundabout in the center, in between the house and the news van. All right, I bought this ticket so long ago. I'm struggling to remember how much I paid for it. I'll put it in the screen, I think. I might be off, but might be around 160 bucks is what I paid. So in the film there was a fence here. This is where all the cars and Dewey's police vehicle was sitting when Sydney gets in and Ghostface sneaks in through the hatch. The Jeep is sitting right here. So I've been to the original Friday the 13th camp in New Jersey. That filming location is almost 100% untouched. We will be adding this to that type of mecca filming location. It looks the same, man. I can't believe we're standing here. I came a long way to see this. And here's the Mustang taking off. Parked right here in this spot. Did a quick turnaround. You can see Dewey's Jeep. Just the fence is gone. Watch out, Sid. Oh, wow. I can't wait to get inside. I'm just nerding out right here. Yeah, there's a volleyball net. I always wondered where that was. It was sitting right here in the roundabout in the center, in between the house and the news van. All right, a lot of folks have showed up. The tour is to kick off in less than 10 minutes. The garage door is open. That's where the boat was sitting. Right there before the first bay. And this is the window that Sydney jumps out onto the boat and sees Tatum in the door. Opposite angle. I'm sure we'll get a little closer and we'll get into the garage. So before Sydney jumps out of this window right here, this window is the same room, and she actually tries that window. I don't think this is a spoiler because it's in the trailer for Scream 7, but I watched that last night and they did show the Macher House, but that was a set. That was not filmed here. They recreated it. All right, we've been welcomed.
Yeah, no, welcome to the Woodsboro House, Macher House, the Scream House. It has many different names, but we are at the Spring Hill Estate Mansion. Spring Hill Estate is this entire property. As you guys drove up, you passed 2 cottages, the Red Barn that we host weddings over there, and then you drive up to the house, the manor. The owners call it the ranch, farmhouse, so it has a lot of different names. But the reality is that people live here full time. This is an active residence, it's not a museum, so keep that in mind. Like when we walk around, just this is someone else's place. So I always share that with everyone. It has a very old look to it, but it was built in 1990. It was built by a local builder. His name is Earl J. Coates. It was built for Jack and Carolyn Macphail. Sadly, they both passed away shortly after the house was built in 91. The house was not even finished, so they didn't really have a lot of time to enjoy it. We got confirmation that, now we'll talk about that later, but when Scream even came in, they built this porch right here, and then they added like the deck to the side. So they did not have a lot of time to, you know, have fun with the house, and it's such a beauty inside. You guys can see. But yeah, the house sat vacant up until '96. I had the honor of talking to Kevin Williamson, and I asked him. I said, "How did you guys find this house? Because it's in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's not that you just drive by a street like that's a famous house. I want to film the horror movie there." He said it was random. It's like, what do you mean random? Like you can't just see it driving by. He said, no, we were looking everywhere, and someone saw, I guess they were in this town, like the town of Tamales, and someone was like, what's that up there? Like, let's just check that out. And they drove up here and they saw it and said, yep, this is it.
Alright, that was a cool introduction. I forgot that they filmed Scream 5 here as well.
That shows when the house was built. It has the name of the builder. And so we're going to take our
There's the speaker box you see in the movie. Famous doorway. We gotta take our shoes off. Oh wow, there's the staircase. The chandelier. That's where Billy's laying when he gets shot in the
How did
head.
you guys find out about the tours?
Instagram.
Instagram? Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody Instagram? I'm trying with the TikTok thing. I'm not really
Glad I wore appropriate socks today.
Keep squeezing in this way.
They've got a model over here of the house too. Here's a screenshot.
Could have, but you gotta see what's out there. But pretty cool.
I know.
And then I was talking to you guys about the stained glass windows, like the old ones. They were all added kind of like up here, but like door frames in a way. But basically in every single door, but those never really existed.
So right there is the closet Esther Prescott's hiding in. Also Sydney pops out in the Ghostface costume and nails Billy right in the shoulder.
Yeah.
And right here is where Billy Loomis says, "We all go a little mad sometimes." It's a Hitchcock there. And they've got the photo set up right there. You can actually see the trim of the door and the curtains right here where he's standing before the main door. And he shoots Randy, and Randy actually falls into a table similar to this one right here.
So, because there's lots of us, I'm just gonna talk about this area, and then you guys can come back and do your photos because I don't want to take that time. But this is the original living room of the house. We don't really see this room at all in the movie. I guess in the first movie, the desk right there is the very same one. The fridge is the very same one.
Oh, that's cool. Been told to explore on our own. Entering the kitchen. Oh wow. Yes. This is where Stu is talking on the phone.
You can try
I
on
got some props here.
The robe or the sweater, like yeah, that.
Stu's sweater. So this is where Stu was talking on the phone.
No, number 5 was not filmed.
No, I mean 220.
The ultimate reveal scene in the kitchen. Sydney, Stu, Billy. Alright, so the kitchen's very popular right now. I'm gonna go to another spot in the house. The garage is actually out that way, where Tatum goes for the beer. Here's the closet. Sydney suits up. That was actually a stunt double in the suit. Came out at Skeet Ulrich right here. So here's the dining room off of the kitchen. This is actually the living room where they're watching Halloween as Jamie Kennedy gives the rules. Those are the rules. So it's actually right here in this corner where the TV was setting on the floor, and that's the TV that killed Stu Macher right here in this spot. Put a screen grab in there. So Jamie was given the rules right there. And then this is the door that Stu goes out of and says, "I'll be right back." Because all the kids are sitting on the couch. You get the angle like looking back from the TV. And this is where Jamie's laying on the couch watching Halloween and Ghostface, which in this moment, that Ghostface was actually Skeet Ulrich coming to almost get him. Jamie's watching Jamie. There you go. It's a good recreation. We got the 90s cordless phone here. Used to have one like this. We got the Jiffy Pop from Casey's house. This is amazing. The doorway. I'll be right back. It's a Scream, baby. Matthew Lillard right there. Amazing. Right here in this moment, it's a Scream, baby. You can see this door, then verse now, and also the refrigerator has not changed. So you can see it here behind him in the screenshot. There you go. I'll be right back. It's a Scream, baby. There's a calendar on the wall right here where these plates were. They're kind of standing here in between the sink. Actually, they're standing right in front of the dishwasher. Notice the trim of the window and the cabinets behind them. Kitchen was painted blue. We've actually got some screenshots here. Alright, this is cool. We can match this up. Alright, there's the door over there to the living room. Stu's in his jacket, which they have that jacket here we can wear if we want to. There you go. Check out the island. That's so cool. Gonna get a couple pictures in here. Got one of the knives right here. Ooh. So this was known as Scene 118. Right there's a t-shirt of that. It's talking about how it took 21 days to complete the scene. They filmed 21 nights here. Someone got stuck in one of the closets. Oh boy. And the lamps above the island, they are the same too as well. Pretty much everything's the same in the kitchen except the walls are painted yellow. And they were blue in the movie. The lamps are the same too. Pretty neat. There you go, Billy right there.
Do you see the kettle?
The kettle?
Right there as well.
Oh. The kettle. Oh wow. It's right there in the same spot. That's cool. It's been there since the 90s. The island's the same, cabinets are the same, the tile's the same, fridge is the same, dishwasher's the same. Don't remember these books being here. It all began with a Scream.
Let's not put it on, but let's just leave it here by the washer.
We're gonna head towards the garage eventually, hopefully. Hopefully we see the garage. That's one of the best scenes.
Everybody ready to go upstairs?
Up into the master bedroom to the left at the top of the staircase.
So that one was Lego.
Oh, okay, I recognize this.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, no, this is that room where they filmed that scene. My favorite part about this room is that you don't know that this room exists at all.
It's all off camera.
There's one scene that I think is the one scene where, like, from there it's all like bedroom scene. It kind of shows a little bit of this open space, and then after that, which I think that was kind of like a mistake, obviously, they put a fake window up here, so you will never know that there was a way for Satan to actually do this and then escape Ghostface. So, but she would have been standing right here, right where you are. Billy's, is changing after the fact. Stu is behind the door the entire time. That's what I'm guessing. So that's a little weird. Yeah, it's got, like,
practically, yeah.
Waiting. All of this is where the bride room would be. So it's like the main room. So.
Right, they're checking out that bathroom. That's where Ghostface comes after Sydney breaks the rules. Billy's posted up there, putting his shoes on. Now this isn't the same bed, it's definitely in the same spot. The lamps are different too, but as he was just saying, Stu would have been off camera in that restroom down there. Yeah, and you don't see this. This is where the film crew would have been, over on that side of the room. Filming back this way. Got Ghostface up here. Check out the view out the window. Beautiful. Alright, here's this moment. Got the screenshot in frame. Billy gets stabbed. And then Ghostface cleans his knife right here, and you can see some of this blue tile of this back bathroom right behind him as he cleans his knife. right here in this spot. No mirror on the wall there. Again, that's where Billy was tying his shoes moments before Ghostface came in the door. Look back the other way. That's all off camera. Bed in the same spot. And then bathroom here that you do not see in the movie. Wow, that's amazing. Look at that tub. This is where Stu is hiding out. So here's the door that Sydney locks. Sydney comes out of the bedroom, slides this door over right here. This one right here, actually it would be that right there you see on screen. Right there. And she pulls it over right there. There you go. You can make out the post and the light switch. And then she runs all the way, kind of through, she has to run through that room and then runs that way and down the stairs, and right there is the secret door that the Ghostface pops out. Little did we know in the movie that was the same room. He just took the off-screen shortcut to meet her all the way around. Right there. That's pretty amazing. Just figured all that out. Some stuff you don't see in the movie. Another bathroom here. Here's another room not seen in the movie. And not in the movie. Check out the study. The walls are filled with rich mahogany. And there is a stab mark from Scream still there. The knife went right into that door. That's cool. So this is the door that Sydney backtracks to and slams into Ghostface, and that's when he makes the knife mark on that right there. That's cool. This is just off from the bedroom, and that makes sense because there's a wall here now, but she was able to walk out over the attic, over the garage, and that's when she jumps out the window out there over the garage down onto the boat over on the front portion of the house. So yeah, that's cool to break that down there. There you go. Come back. This was right here. Hello, Sydney. Ghostface. So glad you showed up, Stu and Billy.
We're here to crash the party.
Alright, hoping to move out towards the garage. We're all just kind of gathered right here. So this is the pantry actually that Mr. Prescott is brought out by Stu. He does come out of the closet in the hallway before the steps at the end of the movie though, that last final scare.
Alright, really sad.
Really cool standing here where the final scene went down. Randy, Gail, Sydney, Billy, Stu. Can you do that again? They do have some merchandise in here. A couple hats, some posters, some stickers. Alright, so we've been asked to get our shoes because we're going to go check out the garage, and I don't think we're coming back in here. One final moment with the staircase, the main door, and Ghostface. Hi. Also, I just want to take a peek out here. This is when Stu and Jamie are coming up to the front door. It was him. No, it was him. Believe me, Sid. You gotta believe me. We all go a little mad sometimes. Alright, so we're gonna temporarily leave our shoes here in the laundry room. This is where Tatum walks through to go get the beers to the garage, which is right there. We'll be going out there soon, but we're going up here to see where Sydney jumps out of the window onto the boat. Okay, so the attic cleared out. Check this out. This is Stu's room. What's your favorite scary movie? So Sydney would have walked through the door here, and here's the door. There's Stu's surfboard. Check this out. That's the door. There's a similar surfboard. He's trying to get through this former door here. Now they sealed it off from the rest of the house. And Sydney actually runs down here and tries to first open this window right here. My car's out there. Here you go, it's showing you right here. This is where we're at. It's that window. And then she comes over here as Ghostface is still trying to get through. She opens this window. Oh, there's her jacket right there. Here's a screenshot of her opening this window right here. And then she jumps out onto the roof right here. You can see it. And where that black car, that Honda's sitting, she jumps on top of the boat. And we are directly above the garage. Tatum is down below us, hanging out of the doggy door. Here you go. This is awesome. Surprise, Sydney. And then, yeah, we're gonna all go down to the garage. Also, there's some memorabilia up here on the wall. Been cool to sleep here. They had this for an Airbnb for a while. You like scary movies? All right, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, of course. But this is the same door, same railing. We also see this closed right here. What we don't see is that actually there was a door on this side. It was all covered by boxes. And we also don't see that there are stairs over there. Very good. Because they kind of put like, they kind of covered it as well. So you wouldn't know that she had another way out as well. But the owners currently they kept the refrigerator in that same spot.
I think it's the same fridge. They said it's full of cheese, not beer, but this is the fridge that Tatum gets the beer out of. Alright, so it's not the same fridge, but it's in the same spot. You can see there's like a silver handle on it. That pole's in the shot here, Ghostface.
So, in the movie, we see that there are two of these switches. We don't know what happened to the other one, but this is the one that opens that door. So I'll let you.
That's cool.
Open it for us. Yeah.
No doggy door anymore. Maybe a little off. The boat was actually on the center garage to the left of the car here.
But all we have is that this space right here. That's where they had it before.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. This is the same door.
Oh, you can kind of see it there.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Check out this pole right here. Here's the pole. Ghostface falling down the stairs. Right there. So that's how they got the aerial shot looking down at Rose hanging out of the door. There's a loft up there you can't see. That's how they got this shot right here. So she was right there, obviously. Yeah, all the garage doors are the same. Oh, that's perfect. Do that again. That was awesome. There you are. Exactly. That's so awesome. Right in the spot. And then you fall on the steps right there. But I don't recommend it. There's that window. Sydney jumps off onto the boat, which was right here in the center. I thought it was more towards where the car was. I think it was right here. Rose McGowan. Tatum Riley. Dewey's sister. Rest in peace. Right there. That's where she met her demise. So the tour is an hour and a half. We are about at an hour and a half. Everyone's walking around. There's another tour that's about ready to go down after we're done here. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna get a group photo in front of the house. Got a big camera up here. So I got as many matchup as I physically possibly could with everyone in there, trying to have their own experience. I was trying to be courteous of that. Got a lot to edit. I hope you are enjoying this video. This was amazing. I could not wait to come here. I had to make this one of my first of 2026 filming locations experiences. It being the 30th anniversary. This movie changed the game. Kevin Williamson saved horror with a little script called Scary Movie, retitled by Miramax. One of the executive producers, Bob Weinstein, actually did not like the Ghostface mask, but then later changed his mind for obvious reasons. Oh yeah, you gotta get that picture right there.
Thank you.
This is where you were in Dewey's Jeep. You almost got Sydney right here, right there. Recreating the Dewey kill.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
All right, final moments at Stu Macher's house. So what's your guys' favorite scary movie?
Scream 2.
Scream 2? That's a good one.
Okay. The original.
I've been to the campus where they filmed that in Georgia. Yeah. It's,
Too much about everything, movies and all that, and you're wearing a flannel. And I'm scared of you.
I have my own mask. I could join you. That's awesome. So I'm walking back out. We're going to recreate the final shot of Scream, which you can see the mountains in the background as the sun's coming up. That shot was actually way back there, probably from a crane. Right here, the final shot of Scream. They definitely shot that from a crane. That was an amazing experience. They also said that there was a restaurant down the street called the Wahoo House, who they are partnered with, and they have a special Scream menu for guests who come to the Macher House and whoever comes through there, the Wahoo House just down the street. That's pretty neat. Not too hungry, but it's good to know. There's another Mustang, a newer Mustang, 30 years later. 11 o'clock tour heading out, 1 o'clock tour coming in, so we got to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed the filming locations, the complete filming locations to Scream. That was one of the most amazing filming locations quests I have ever been on. That was mind-blowing. We got to see so much, and we got every location besides up close to Sidney Prescott's house in the video, but we were right there before it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know what your favorite scene in the movie is. Let me know anything that I missed. I love to talk to you about movies down there in the comment section, please. And also check out my filming locations playlist on the main page of my YouTube channel. And I will be back at it again soon, tracking down the then and now movie locations to my favorite movies. What's my favorite scary movie? Well, someone's waiting for me to answer that. Scream's up there. It sure is. That's a hard question for a horror movie buff. But if you've been watching, you might know. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Know you're awesome, know you're loved, and no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, just know that there's always much ahead. We'll be back to California, that's for sure.